Hi, this is Sam Stevens from World5, speaking to you from Ali's attic. You wouldn't believe what she's got up here.
Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a very funny man, Sam Stevens from World5, which is a pop rock group with a global influence. So please say hi to Sam. Hello, Sam.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm speaking to you from Nottingham in the UK.
I know.
That's a real place. It's not just Robin Hood films and things.
That
It's
is,
a real place here in the UK. Yeah.
that's awesome. I want to go so bad.
Yes, it's great. It's got castles and everything here. It's great.
Awesome. I'm going to get there one day, especially Scotland. That's where all my ancestors are from. So I want to go there. Apparently, I have relatives there. I didn't even know. Okay, so basically, tell me about your journey, Sam. Like, when you started getting interested into music, right up until when you joined World5. And let
how
me.
long have we got? Have we got 10 minutes or 10 hours or 10 days or something?
No. About 15 minutes is good. 30, that's 30 is the cutoff.
Okay, so my dad was a jazz guitarist way back when I was young, and he used to play at places like Ronnie Scott, a very famous jazz club in the centre of London. And he'd been on stage with people like Oscar Peterson and loads of very famous people. And I got into music really because there was a musical influence in the house, listening to lots of stuff, anything from, let's see, Long John Baldry to Strauss and Mozart. Eine kleine Nachmusic and Strauss's waltz and things were played all the time at home, as well as lots of stuff like Dave Brubeck and lots of jazz stuff. So I've been into music forever, and started playing guitar from an early age, sort of 10, and going through the 70s, playing 70s rock and into Zeppelin and Thin Lizzy and these kind of bands that were superstars, absolute superstars at my age. And I was in my teens and stuff, and carried on playing. We got through to the 80s, and I played in synth bands, and I started recording and writing. I was at college, I was at music school and so on. And I've just kept going ever since. It's a bit like music to a certain extent. It's in my DNA. And having done lots of things in my life, it's still with me. And the guys in World5, it's interesting that the guys in World5 are really good session players. Mm-hmm. These are top session players that play with just about everybody. Including, unfortunately, the demise of Tom Petty this week. Yes. They had the pleasure of playing with Tom Petty at some point. But I've found that even though I now run my own business, I've got a design business, I've done many things in my life, I always come back to music. So therefore, instead of having a midlife crisis and buying sort of fast cars and yachts and all this sort of stuff, I always invest in doing something like an album every year.
Wow. I'm glad that you're doing that.
I'm sitting in the studio at the moment in Nottingham, and we're just about to start work on a new single of ours called My Kind of Crazy. And Dave's the long-suffering Dave is the producer here. So worked with me on a number of things over the years, but it's always been a passion. It's something that I'll always do. So what happened a couple of years back, I wrote an album, went down to Thailand to record it at a place called Karma Studios. And it happened at the same time as World5 were looking for a new singer. There was a previous guy called Pat who they did the last album with. He's got a great voice. It's a very traditional sort of American rock kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. He left the band, or he wanted to do something else, whatever. And Ray, our crazy German drummer, he is crazy. You've spoken to him.
Yes, I have.
It's crazy, but he's very good. He's great fun. Mm-hmm. He up and said, Sam Stevens, you want to be in this band? And I didn't know whether it was an instruction or whether it was a question. I didn't know whether he was telling me, you want to be in this band. There's no choice. So I said, yeah, okay. Because he'd heard a few of the bits that I've done from the Karma Studio sessions on YouTube and various other things, including the single that you're going to play a little bit later. Mm-hmm. I recorded that initially in Thailand, called I Won't Let You Down. I wrote it with a guy called Michael Giller, who's a fantastic songwriter, he really is. And so Ray from the band, from World5, heard the single, heard my voice, and he said it was this sort of smooth galaxy chocolate kind of vocal that I've got.
Ooh.
I touched on a nerve there. I brought the chocolate into the conversation.
You did. Chocolate and smooth. Stop it.
So what we did was decide to re-record it as a World5 single. So we took the stems, the individual parts from the track that I did in over in Thailand, and they redid the drums and some of the guitars and various other bits and pieces. Used the original vocal, and that's what we now have as a World5 single. And it's been released through Spectra Records. And I've got to say, the guys at Spectra, the record company, are really great, and they support acts that aren't necessarily sort of your young pop or rap, whatever it may be acts. They're really into guys like myself who've got to middle age and still do music for other people like me.
Mm-hmm.
For the more mature and the more discerning audience, we say. People have got a bit more quality about the kind of they like. Hopefully, all these people that are listening to the show as well,
Yes.
So instead of trying to do that sort of pop thing, we're completely committed to reproducing this sort of area of influence that we like, the American rock stuff, European pop stuff from the 80s, and we've got a really nice mix of all of the guys in the band. I'll give you an insight into the how the band sort of comes together. We've got Ray, who's German. He lives in Gothenburg in Sweden. We've also got Stefan, who lives in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Is not round the corner from Stockholm or Gothenburg, of course. We've got Jimmy, who's a bass player, lives in Stockholm. I'm based in Nottingham in the UK, the land of Robin Hood and Men in Tights. And the other two guys are based in Austin, Texas.
Good Lord.
But the things that, whilst the name of the band is World5, we literally are all over the globe. And the idea is really to bring different musicians who've had a great career, I've done some stuff, together into a melting pot and get influences and kind of run the gauntlet of getting a different style, which is a mix of different influences all together. And I think we've done quite well. So this single, I Won't Let You Down, it's not akin to any of the previous albums or tracks that World5 have done, but it's taking that sort of American country rock and those great traditions and giving it a little bit of European influence as well, and it's working really well. I mean, when we started, it was interesting. Ray said, well, how are we going to do this? What are we going to sound like? And what would be the influences? And I said, well, if we take the great sort of traditions of like the Boss or Bon Jovi or anyone like this, traditional sort of great American rock act.
Mm-hmm.
Meld those with the likes of In Excess, or a fantastic rock band, or a little bit of Duran Duran, maybe a bit of Brian Ferry or something, and see what happens if we mix all those sort of things together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. We're quite excited to see if audiences like it.
Well, I do.
But, hey, that's one cell we've got. There we go. Australian Fox.
I think it is amazing that you guys are based all over different parts of the world. I mean, technology now is unbelievable, and thank goodness, because if it wasn't for technology, you guys would not exist. And like I said, I love your music, and you are hilarious. You say that Ray's crazy. You're nuts, and I absolutely love it.
I take that as a compliment. It's the crazy sort of British sense of humour, and yes, I'm nuts and great. So I mean, also technology is also fantastic, because you and I are talking over Skype, aren't we? Stop laughing.
I can't.
It's business now. Stop laughing.
Oh my goodness.
We're talking over technology over Skype at the moment, which is fantastic. You couldn't do this a few years back,
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. Like, definitely, I would not be able to. Now, you're working on your third album, which is why you're in the studio right now, right?
That's right, yeah.
And when do you think that will be coming out?
Well, we're going to release another single, hopefully. This next single, My Kind of Crazy, it's called. And if all of your listeners want to listen into the radio, I've got a little secret for you. And Ali, you can listen in as well. Yeah?
I'm listening.
It's my favourite.
It's your favorite. Okay.
Okay. So this is my favourite single that we've written between us. So I'm just doing the vocals here with Dave this evening because it's what time is it here in the UK? It's 8:30 in the evening here in the UK, and I'm doing the vocals here with Dave, and hopefully we'll release that probably early New Year, and then we'll have the album out around about April May time, I think.
Okay. Well, maybe.
And yeah, maybe a few jokes at the end for you as well.
Of course. Before I'm looking forward to the new album, and if you want to send me singles, I'll put it up on my website. I'll promote you guys as much as I can. The reason I just want to tell listeners, because they love hearing all the funny, weird things that happen in my life. When I first talked to Sam, he actually emailed me about Robin Hood and Men in Tights and all kinds of things, Nottingham, and I answered with, "We all live in igloos," and it was the funniest email ever. So I knew right off the bat that this was going to be a fun interview, and so far it has been. And for you that can't see, even though this is audio, Sam and I can see each other. And I'm trying not to laugh because he's got this huge grin on his face, and he's got this sly British humor. But yeah, it's been fun. Now, I'm glad that you guys have a new lineup. I'm glad that everything is going successful for you guys now, and Spectrum Music Group is looking after you guys.
Yeah, they're good.
Now, what are the band's aspirations? Where do you want to go from here?
Well, I think the idea is to get this album under our belt, and as a sort of meld of lots of ideas, and make sure it works. But we've done quite a few radio stations, including the Jimmy Star Show. I think,
yes.
Show, which was really exciting because they've invited us to go to LA and do some live shows. They said they're going to set them up for us, which is great. And so as soon as maybe around about the same time as the album's released, sort of April time, I'd like to come and do a mini tour of the US. I haven't been to the US for, let's see, it's got to be about 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
So I'd like to come and see some really good sort of rock centers, if you like. Go to LA and Seattle and Minneapolis. I've been to Minneapolis quite a lot in my time, and various other places, and do some sort of 2 or 3 shows in every area. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be. Come to Canada.
What we aspire to. In actual fact, it would be come to Canada. Yeah, invite me and I'll come.
Well, I just did.
Then I'm there. I've got my ticket already.
Okay, right on.
But I mean, it would be nice at some point for the band to all meet. The World5 guys all to get together because we haven't been in a room together yet.
Oh my good Lord!
Yeah, but if you see our photos that we've got, the promotional photos, and all the listeners can see our stuff on World5 music.com.
Yes.
But they're all sort of photoshopped images of us to make it look as though we're in the same room.
That is so hilarious. I did not. You guys have never been in the same room.
No, I've been in the same room with Jimmy the bass player and Ray the drummer. But Stefan and no, we haven't all been together, no.
Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible. See?
Stefan and Joe I've never met. I mean, I've Skyped them, when they're working on that and stuff. But there we are. Great.
Wow, that is amazing. So, because you have so much experience and wisdom, if you had any advice to give anybody that's just starting out as an artist in this business, because it's hard, what kind of advice would you give them, Sam? Practice, and never let anybody tell you that you can't do it. I've been told so many times in my career, if you like, and a couple of times I got into relationships, and that sort of took place over music, but music was always bubbling under, sort of thing.
just treat it as the most important thing that you have. It's a gift. When you're a musician, when you're a writer, it's not a job. It's something that's in your DNA. It's something that bubbles underneath. It's something that's exciting for you. And just keep creating, keep sort of experimenting, trying new ideas. Work with different people in different genres. Work with some crazy metalhead rock guitarist one day, and some folk singer or a rap guy the next day and stuff. And get loads of influences and put it all together and keep going. Just absolutely keep going and sharing. I mean, your music really, what we're doing on World5, it's certainly not for the money. It's for some ideas together and sharing. And as long as you approach it like that, there are lots of people in the music industry who, to the detriment really of the music, who approach it as something which is financial. These are what we call breadheads. If you've heard the phrase before, but you completely steer away from that. And no, not that they've got bread on their head. That's not no. But they think about the money first.
Yes, I've never heard that saying, by the way.
Completely steer away from that, and you just do your art, because it is art. Whether you're writing lyrics that somebody else will turn into poetry, whether you're a drummer or a fiddle player or something you play in a band, or whether you're a singer, or whether you write lyrics and actually have the luck, as I feel, because I feel I'm quite lucky to be involved in this project. Just keep going and keep having faith and keep producing. It doesn't matter whether it gives you, £2.67 or $2.67 on SoundCloud downloads or whatever. It just doesn't matter. Just keep doing it. And lovely people. I'm telling you, listeners, if there are any musicians out there, lovely people like Ali will give you some exposure. Send stuff to Ali. And she'll make you feel great, and she'll give you some exposure. And it's nice when people listen to your stuff, and when people like it. And that's really all we do. It's a tiny little buzz. That's what.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. Great advice. And it applies for me as well, because there's times where I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I'll get a musician contact me, I do actors, and I interview actors and authors and all that stuff. I cannot look at you right now because I'm going to laugh. And so it's artists of any genre, but I'll kind of get down, and then I'll get, somebody message me, and it's just amazing music like yours. And it's like, okay, no, I have to do this again. So you guys keep me going. So thank you to all the musicians, all the artists of any type out there that, contact me or want to come on my show. It's an honor. And it has been an honor talking to you. I knew it was going to be fun. I love your smile, by the way. Throw a little bit of flirting in there. Come on. So what 2 songs are we going to hear from you guys today?
So we've got Heartbeat of the World, which is from a previous album. This is when I wasn't the singer. This is before they tracked me down, hunted me down with rifles and put me in the studio and made me sing. So this is in the previous incarnation, if you like, of the band, when there was a guy called Pat who was the singer. And after that, you're going to listen to, or you're going to hear, a single called I Won't Let You Down.
And that is your newest.
That's my Cadbury smooth vocal on the top there. And I'd say to all of your listeners there, and you, Ali, as well, personally, I've got to say, I really hope you like it. And we keep in touch with all the rest of the stuff.
Yes, definitely, because this isn't a one-shot deal. Anytime you want to come back on, you're more than welcome. One thing I do want to say before we stop, you sent me 3 jingles to use on my website. And one is up there. It's on the first page. So if everybody wants to go listen to it, it is hilarious. You're going to hear the other one at the beginning of this interview, which is also hilarious. And you'll find out what kind of humor Sam has, because it's amazing and awesome. And I just want to say thank you so much for that. That meant a lot to me. And as soon as I got it, I put it up on my website. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, honey. Thanks so much.
And thank you.
I'd just like to say to all the listeners, again, I hope you enjoy what we're doing, and there's plenty more on the way, and we'll keep in touch with you.
Awesome. And thank you so much for taking time out of the studio and recording to come on my show. I appreciate it, Sam.
Take care.
And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. Cheers.